Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Hopefully, everyone can hear me okay. I've got a fan on, so I don't know if it's going to be picked up too much. But yeah, we're going to do some really cool things tonight. We're going to be answering your questions all about Unreal Engine. Anything you want to ask, really, all you have to do is put your question into chat, and we'll try and grab as many questions as we can. I'm just waiting for Unreal to finish loading up, but we can probably answer some questions now. And I'll give you a few updates of what's going to be going on the channel soon, and also in general. So on Thursdays evenings, about this time on a Thursday, well, actually a bit later on a Thursday, we're going to be start having hopefully weekly playtests of Mimic. So keys have gone out to people who have requested them. So if you want to be part of the playtest and can make it on a Thursday, about this time on a Thursday, do let us know over on Patreon. We've got a post there. Leave a comment and we can send you a key. Help playtest the game, because we're at a stage now where the game is we're at a point where I know it needs work, but I don't know where. So I want to get people in there, tweaking, adjusting, finding bugs. Obviously, it's going to be broken, it's going to be messy, but I really want to get people in there, start reflecting on it, and start polishing the gameplay and mechanics of the game. So yeah. We'll be taking a look at that tomorrow, and we'll hopefully be live streaming it. If all goes ahead as planned, it should be okay to live stream. And you get to see us figuring it out. Okay, so let's see if there's any questions I can answer whilst we are waiting for Unreal to do its thing. It's been a bit slow. I saw someone ask a question about, do I know when 5.6 release candidate's going to be out? I can't say for certain because I'm not an Unreal employee, but I can 90% bet that it's going to be on the day of the State of Unreal. It will be the keynote, they'll release it on that day. Yeah. That makes the most sense. And if you're going to do it marketing-wise, it makes the most sense. So, yeah. Pyrochemist, in line of speaking about 5.6 and new versions as they come out, do I have any suggestions for learning new features as they're released in future engine releases before their documentation drops, if it ever does? So honestly, the way I learn things is by just messing around with it. So I take a look at some features and what it says and tooltips and the actual naming of things and comments and things like that, and I try to reverse engineer it and come up with hypotheticals and hypotheses to test and help me build my learning of something. So it's a very scientific approach to learning, really. It's like you have a theory, test it out, and then you reflect on that theory, and that's basically how I learn stuff and how I make sense of tools and features without any documentation, and that's generally how I learn it in general. So Gary, where did I go to school for game dev? I did go to school for game dev. I went to University of East London, but everything I learned in that course doesn't exist anymore. So everything that you see me teaching now is kind of like learned since then. But yeah, that's where I went. I got my first class degree there. Yeah. Sorry, just setting up Unreal there. By the way, you have spam links in your Discord general. Yeah, I need to have a look at that. So, I need... so FYI, if you're a Diamond Patreon, you have mod privileges inside Discord. So, if you want to help out with that, you're more than welcome to. But we will be asking people to help with modding. It's quite a large community on there. Yeah, I need to I'll clean it up now actually while we're on it. We'll delete that. There you go. But yeah, so if you want to do that, that'd be great. Just finishing a degree. Oh, congrats on finishing your degree, by the way. Good to hear it. 99% of your skills on YouTube. Save yourself 30k. I mean, yeah, yes and no. So, like, there are some benefits to going to like university and schools, and it's not necessarily the skills that you're going to learn. The main skills that you are going to be developing that you need to, and that will help you from a school, are going to be your soft skills. So skills like your communication, working as a team, pitching, networking, all those sort of soft skills are going to be super important, and they're impossible really to learn from a laptop or your PC in your office. You need to get out there and get some real world experience, and that's what really has. Yeah, but yeah, cool. How do you go about fixing feet sync, legs overlay, blending when riding up moving platforms using game and in sample project for context movement? Fixing feet sync, legs overlay, blending when riding up moving platform overlay using game and in sample project for context movement. I haven't tried the sample thing with a moving platform, actually, funny enough, so I can't comment on how they did it. It shouldn't make it a problem. The only thing I can think of is why they would sync is if the IK trace is out of sync or not working for whatever reason. So if you don't know, there's an IK trace coming from each foot, and they determine whether the foot should be on the floor or whereabouts it should be angled, and so on. And obviously on a moving platform, that line trace that it's doing is constantly going up like that. So you need to kind of maybe you want to turn off the IK whilst they're going up in the elevator. I don't know. I haven't tried it out with that sample project, so I can't say for certain. It shouldn't be an issue, but that's the reason why I could think it would clip through stuff, is that there's a desync there happening. Hello, how to make a simple outline when we interact with an object? Yeah, I can show you that. So let's actually jump into Unreal screen. Okay, so the thing you're referring to is going to be using stencils and a post-process. Okay, so first thing you need to do is enable stencils on your project settings. So you go to your project settings, search for stencil, and you'll see custom depth stencil pass, and you want to do enabled with stencil. Next, you want to make a post-process material. BP outline. And the way this works is you are going to take a stencil of something. So let's say, for example, this cube here, we're going to stencil this actor out. So if I do custom depth and turn that on for this, and the stencil value will leave at 0, it doesn't really matter for this. We want to outline this out from the rest of it, right? So if I go into buffer visualization, and go to custom stencil. Oh, let's change it to 1. There you go. There we go. Change it to 1. There's our stencil. And what you're going to do is we're going to take this render, which would be like 0 and 1 values, and I want to say get the pixels around this current pixel. If there's an average below 1, that means I'm on the edge. Yeah, and then that identifies the outline. So that's how the logic of it, the math of it works. So on the outline tool, you need to get the screen position of each texture. So each pixel. Can't talk today. So you get the screen position, and we also want to get the blur sample offsets, which is a really useful node, because what it basically does is it takes you, lets you have like the coordinate of something +1 in each direction and -1 in each direction really easily. So I want to take the pixel position here, and I want to add on that. Okay, and I'll do that for each one. Like this. You could do the halves, but that'd be fine. Offset amount is going to be basically the line thickness. So we'll just do yeah, we'll just do that. I may be misremembering that, but at least this part. Okay, so in this part, the ads all going in here, and I've totally forgotten to do something. We need to get this the custom depth of that location. So get the scene texture. That's the one we want. Change that to custom depth. Where are you? There we are. And the UVs are the coordinates here. So it'd be the pixel position. Is it add or multiplier? I can't remember now. I think it's add. Do that, and you do that for each one. Okay. And it gives you the custom depth of each of those pixels. Okay. We then need to add them all up and average them out. So add that to that. Add that to that. Add this to this. So to do an average, you add up all your values and divide by how many values there are. There are 4. Divide by 4. Okay. Next, we need to get the scene texture. So do scene texture again. Change that to the post-process input 0. The UVs are going to be in viewport UV, I think it is. I believe that's right. And then we want to lerp. So lerp. And the alpha is this lerp going into the alpha there. Okay. Oh, yeah, so I've got to change the post-process. There you go. Okay, and then if it's 1, it's the color. No, this one, and then 1. I've done something wrong here. I know I have. Right, let's go into here and just put it on and see what happens. So let's find the post-process input materials, array, asset reference, and we'll just choose that one. Yep. So definitely done something wrong here. Oh no, it's not that. Oh, so yeah, no, I've done it wrong. You want the custom depth of the pixel position, and you're comparing it to this divider here. So that'll be into there, and then we are saying, what are we saying? If that's the average of that custom depth, we want to say if this is mask. Can't remember now. Custom depth. What am I forgetting? That might be that one. No. Oh, I've forgotten what this is now. It's this bit that's thrown me. What's turn that off as well. Clamp that. There we go. And then there's something you have to do with this. Because the custom depth is this. So if we go, let me try and remember how you do this now. So the custom depth is that. Yeah, there it is. So it's a value. I want to, I'm taking that value, comparing it around it, averaging it out. Is this maybe a multiplier? This might be a multiplier. Yeah. There, that there. That now. Nope, definitely got it wrong. Hang on, let me look it up. I can't remember how you do this. Done it quite a lot over the past couple of months as well. People have asked for it, but I keep forgetting this part of it. One day I will learn it, and it'll stick in my brain. Through my notes. 1 second. No, I had it right the first time. It's add. And it's not pixel position, it's UV position. That's what I wanted. Now it's going wrong. So yeah, if you put UV position, 3 of those. That goes into there, 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 there. Chuck those into there. And then we and then this part we can leave like that, I think. No. It's this part. We need to. Oh no! We need to subtract this. That's right. We subtract that from that. Can't remember if I have to clamp it or not. That should give us the outlines in general. No, not clamped. No, not clamped. No, it is tapped. It is clamped. Sorry. What is going on? Maybe not about masking it. Subtract. Yeah, do that. Subtract. Add. Custom depth. What I've done wrong? Hold on. Yeah, that's all it is. Hang on. I did it without a clamp before. Just do that. Import UVs, custom depth, subtract this, get the emissive color. It should give us outline for everything. Offset amount, we'll put in texture coordinate. No. No. Let me quickly change these to scene depth because it will show easier in here. Hold on. So scene depth there. Scene depth. Yeah. Doing something. I've definitely done something wrong. Obviously. Oh no, I've done wrong. It's not coordinate, it's textile size we need. Textile size. There we go. There we go. Right. Now I've got the so it's textile size that goes in here. Textiles, by the way, are the size of the pixels essentially in like the 3D-dimensional space. So now we've got the outline part. We now need to take it to custom depth only. So take that to custom depth. Custom depth. Where are we? There we are. Custom depth. Can I do all of them at the same time? I can. Nice. Okay, so that'll go into there. That'll go into the alpha, and then the that'll go into there, and input 0 will be A, B will be 1. There we go. And there's that outline. So when you want to make the outline thicker, you multiply the textile size by the size that you want it to have. So if I multiply this by 3, I have a thickness of 3. Okay. And then if you want to turn it off and on, what you need to do is have it so that the custom depth toggle turning on is available. It's turned on when you look at something. Okay, so in this case, if I go into third person here and just do a very quick example of something, let's do landed. On landed, take the hit event, break that open, and I want to take the hit component, cast that to a primitive component. No, is it already primitive? It's already primitive. Set custom depth, set render custom depth, turn it on like that. So I just realized I haven't got a way of turning it off, but anyway, so we will see something here like when I jump on something, it will render the custom depth of it. The black part, why is it going black there? We'll take a look at that in a second, but yeah, I can jump on things and it will turn on their outline. Let's have a look at the shading. Why is it shading it black? One sec. Let's take a look at that. Pose. Clamp with the alpha here. I'm going to clamp it. Not clamp it. I'm going to basically absolute it. I really want to do absolute and clamp maybe. Yeah, we'll clamp it. So we want to keep it between 0 and 1 so the lerp works. And the absolute will knock off any decimal points, which is what we were seeing there. We were seeing like the gradient happening between the two. But yeah, that's looking a lot better. There we go, got that in the end. Yeah, there you go. Okay, Well, we'll miss you too, Ian. I won't be there because it's a long way away, Skull. I'm in UK. It's in Orlando. I can't afford the journey. So yeah, that's actually what it is. How do you make a game like Split Fiction by yourself? I don't know yet. I need to figure that one out myself. Split Fiction is kind of magic in my eyes. For the weird, making two players see something different is not too difficult. It's the split screen stuff they do with that is tricky. The only thing I can think of is that you have two levels open at the same time, and somehow rendering two at the same time. I don't know how to achieve that without doing some custom work. Yeah. Hey Bill, good to see you. Do you know how to implement achievements for different platforms? I'm working on getting my game to recognize different achievements itself. I'm wondering how to tell that to the platform. So it depends on the platform. Now I can't show you behind the scenes on the platforms for like Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, or Epic. But the general rundown is there are guides, you can find guides. The general rundown is you design the achievements all on the platforms, whatever the platform that may be. And once you've got that, there are some basic achievement stuff inside of Unreal. I strongly recommend getting a plugin which handles it for you because they do a lot more features for it. Like fetching them all and cache, not just caching them, but fetching them all. But generally speaking, when you load up the game, you first of all need to cache your achievements. Yep, cache achievements and cache achievement descriptions. You do all that, and that's going to store all your achievements, okay, in the local stuff, okay. Now, obviously, you give it the player controller. That's the first thing you do. So you do that at the start of the game, just cache it. Or when you connect, like log in, for example, it makes most sense. And then when you want to do achievements and write achievements progress, if you do write progress, and in here you put the achievement name. So every achievement that you have on a platform will have a identifier, like a unique identifier that goes in here, and you give it the progress it's going to have. So this is very generic because it has to support multiple systems, but I'll give you the hypothetical behind Steam. Again, not allowed to show you, but Steam has stats and achievements. Okay, so you write to a stat, and when that stat is complete, it will give the achievement. So the achievement name is going to be whatever it is. The progress would be whatever it is. So if it's just a simple like story progression type thing, your progress would be 100. You'll get 100% straight away. But if you're doing things like I need to get 1 point, I need to get 5 kills, you're going to send 1 kill per time, you know, whatever it may be. But you do all that, and it sends it over to the achievement system. You usually do a full safe on it, a fail safe. When it write failure, you are storing the information that would have been sent to achievement system and keeping that all in a save file. So when the player loads up the game in a save file, it tries it again. Maybe this time they've got a connection. Now it will go to the right progress and give them the achievement if it needs to. But that's generally all there is to it. It's just this. Yeah. And you don't worry about putting the achievement list inside the game. Most platforms don't like you doing it, so don't bother. It's a far less hassle. Just make it show the achievement UI. I don't know if there isn't a node already for that. I say it's better to do it with an actual, show platform specific achievement screen. Do that, it'll show like the Xbox overlay or PlayStation trophy overlay, whatever. It'll show all that information on their side of things. But that's it, and that's all I can really do because we're not allowed to show that backend, which I think is really dumb because how will people ever learn? But yeah, essentially they all follow the same sort of pattern. You have stats and you have achievements, and you build up stats to unlock achievements. Yeah, it's a very weird system, but there you go. Let me jump through. Hey Ryan, is there a way to translate an enum? I'm guessing translate into different languages? No. Enums are what they are, and they're not designed to be turned into text string nodes like that. No. You're welcome, Pink Giraffe. Thank you. Skull, will you make a multiplayer co-op Steam game course similar to the game you're releasing? I'll definitely pay for such a course. It's on the to-do list. At the moment, we are redesigning course structure for the whole entire channel and how we deliver videos. Because I recognised, and as well as you recognised, that the content release schedule is kind of messed up, and we can't release content as frequently as we'd like. And so courses can get elongated out or have bits missing, have to go back on them. It gets messy. I know that, you know that, so we're going to fix it. So the way we're fixing it is a course will come out and be available in its entirety to Patreon members, and then it will come out on a regular basis, maybe like once or twice a week, depending on how many videos there are, on YouTube. So if you want to watch it for free and not donate, that's fine. You can just watch it on YouTube bit by bit. Or if you want to donate and watch it all in one go, you can go to Patreon and get access to the whole thing there. And also, depending on what tier you get project files and so on. I can actually reveal what the course is for the first one if you want. It's not finished yet, but hopefully you'll be cracking on recording. It's all planned out and done. It just needs to be recorded and output online, but I can tease it for you if you want. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. Actually, I don't think I exported it, so I can't tease it. I can't tease it. You'll see tease coming soon. But yeah, but the first, actually, I'll bring up Photoshop because I was editing I was messing around with what the thumbnail will be. I'll bring up. Ryan, OnlyFans confirmed. Yeah. Not too far off from needing to do that, but there you go. So here we go. Still my stuff I make, but we are finally going to get around to having the survival game finished, and so there's a whole course that's designed and built. And it will go through all the bits you need to build from 0 to complete, and I think it's like 7 modules. Each module's got a handful of videos in it, and each module will have a challenge at the end of it, so encouraging you to take what you've learned and go further with it and expand on the system that I set. But we've got it working. It works fine. You can build stuff, mine stuff, lose health, hunger, thirst, yeah, all that shit. So survival game will be the first course that we have lined up, mostly because I'm sick and tired of restarting this damn thing. I just want to get it done. And so we're going to get it done properly. So there'll be loads of challenges, and then at the end of the whole entire thing, there's going to be a big set of challenges for people to try and do, for beginner, intermediate, and advanced users, to really take what they've learned and expand on it and make really interesting things. So it could be something as simple as like adding another stat that's going to deplete over time or change, like temperature, to adding Niagara effects to the mining system, to making the build system have more options on how you place stuff. But yeah, we got it all working. Today, the build system is all building, working fine, and all that's in there. So I'm making the whole project first, and then I'm going to go remake it and film the whole remaking, and that's the tutorial, and then it will be edited and released. And people will get access, like Patreon members get access to that completed series, or like right off the bat as well, so they could want to take the course as it stands and bring it forward. They can do so if they wish. There's also going to be a starter file, so you'll start with all the assets that we're going to use in the course. They'll be available for people to download too, for free. People will be able to do that. So that's what we're doing. When do you think we'll have the series finished? I'm hoping to have recordings thereabouts done by end of next week after maybe, and then editing and then uploading. Yeah, essentially that's the plan. So by end of June, hopefully I'm aiming to have it kicking out. Okay, we'll see how far we get. You never know what comes across your way. All sorts of problems arise, but there we go. It is what it is. But that's my hope, is to get it out and done. So yeah, look out for that. But then after that, I'd like to go do a multiplayer thing, and going back to like yeah, multiplayer in general. Anyway, with dedicated servers, or what's the setup? Not dedicated servers, no, because they're too expensive. Okay, that's fine. Jesse, let's take a look at your original question. Let me find it. Attributes. But my life stat is sense of my health gets a bonus based on affecting attribute. If that makes sense. Whereas a stat of 5 is average, giving no buff or debuff. Anything below or above 5 at max to 10 affect positive or negatively. Attribute multiplier, so any input is a godsend. I mean, generally speaking, attribute multipliers come in different shapes and sizes. Let me go back and have a look. Where a stat of 5 is average, giving no debuff or doing below or above 5 at max. Oh, okay. So, I mean, it's all maths, okay? So, let's take that off there. I'm just doing a player character for now. Actually, no, I'll make a component, make it a bit tidier for you guys. Stats component. Okay, so I'll just do one stat for now. Let's do strength, for example. Okay, and that would be a float maybe. And you're saying you're using a value of what? 100, was it? So I'll do exactly the same wording you're doing. Hang on. So vitality set to 100. Oh, okay. So so your health is 100, and then you have a stat that improves that value. Okay. So the stat we're going to have then we'll call resilience. Okay. Whatever. So resilience, that you're saying default is 5. So anything above and below that is going to affect it. So 5 equals 100. So if you think about the maths and how you want that to affect it, that's kind of where you need to draw your attention to. So if basically resilience being 5, multiplying it by vitality, you want to get 100. So resilience 5 equals 1. Okay. So if I just do resilience, we'll get make a function actually. Get vitality there, and in there I'm going to get resilience, get vitality, and I want to say if take 5 away from this. So take away 5. That gets me 0. Okay, so 5 take away 5 equals 0. 0 is the effector. I then want to take the vitality here, multiply it by 1 plus whatever this is. Okay, so if I say I want it to go up by 10% each point, I need to first of all divide this by 10. Okay, if it's 0, 0 divided by 10 is not going to give me anything. It's going to be 0. But sorry, like if I put in 1 divided by 10 will give me 0.1. So 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1 times 100 will give me 110. Make sense? So you got that sort of mentality. So if it goes below, if resilience goes below that, that'll become negative number. So negative, let's say negative 1. Negative 1 divided by 10 is negative 0.1. 1 plus negative 0.1 is 0.9. Vitality times 0.9 gives us 90. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that helps you out, Jesse. But that's a sort of logic. Basically, this just depends entirely on your design for your game. So every person's game is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be very different too. Now, important to note, this is a linear progression of statistics. If you want to do a non-linear statistic progression, you can use a curve, which is quite useful to know about. So you go to curve here, we'll do a float, and we'll do stat growth underscore vitality, for example. And let's say you're putting in a value at the bottom of this being 0, 0. And let's say the vertical is going to be our the additional moment we have on it. So 5, if I add another key here, this one is going to be 5, 1. Then I could move this one, that'll be -1. Okay, so I want to take 1 away from that multiplier or whatever I want to do. And then down here, I'm going to take that to 2. Okay, so that's not straight. -1. 1. Oh yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. 1. I'm getting confused now. Yeah, there you go. 0. That's it. 1, 0, 2. So I don't know why that's not straight. 5. That should be a pretty straight line. Oh no, that should be 1. Going mad. Sorry. There we go. So yeah, that's what the current system looks like. It looks like this, but we can tweak this however we want. So I can just break this and turn it into like a user-based graph here. So I can say, okay, we can do more like a curvature to it. Oh. So something like this, maybe. Yeah, so like the bigger numbers will affect it less, and the small numbers will affect it little. If that's the case, you're going to go for a curve like this. On your stat component, you will have a curve as a value. So we'll call it a vitality curve, for example. And that'll be a curve float. And compile that. Set that to our float curve. What do I call it? Stat growth vitality. There you go. And then in here, we're going to take this out. Get the value of the resilience. Take away 5. So that goes into there. All right. No, divide by 10. There you go. Sorry, not bad. Divide by 10. So I can't remember what number I didn't know. 0, 0, 5, and yes, I've got 5 in there times by. Getting confused. Float curve 0, 5 is 0, so that'd be this. Yeah. So you do a more curvature one. For example. Pretty useful when doing leveling curves, because generally speaking, when you're doing a leveling curve, you want your curve to look something like that sort of shape. Yeah, like so when you start the game, you get lots of levels early, really quickly, and high numbers really quickly, and it starts tapering off. And that's because you want to reward the player early up front to get them enticed and encouraged to stay with the game. But yeah. Anyway. How do we use camera modifier to lerp as aiming as location? How do you want lerp as aiming ads location? Avoiding a harsh count per set location on ads. Okay, I'm glad it helped, Jesse. Cool. Yeah, we can do that, Adam. We'll do that in a second. Let's just answer the first question by Vinny there. Oh, aim down sight. Right, okay. So if you're doing a camera modifier, search for camera mod. Ooh, can't spell. Camera modifier. So for those who don't know, you can add camera modifiers to your camera to have different behaviors. So we'll do this one as ADS. Okay. So when I click on ADS, I'm going to aim down sights. I'm going to apply this camera modifier. Okay. So for example, I haven't got a first person or anything like that. I'm going to bring it a bit. I'm just going to move the camera in. Okay. So we're going to take right mouse button like that, and we apply the modifier through the camera manager. So add cam modifier. It's pressed. You choose your ADS, promote to variable, ADS CM, and then when it's released, we're going to remove camera modifier ADS CM, for example. So now we just need to code that bit. So if I go to CM ADS, the function in here is this modifier camera function, and this happens like on a tick event almost. Well, it is a tick event essentially. It's just constantly going to update the location, rotation, and field of view of your current camera. So let's say I want it to look like I'm zooming in a little bit. Okay, so I can either bring the location in and or change the field of view. Okay, so I'm going to just change field of view first because that's probably the easier one to do. So view location, we're going to just plug it straight in, or you can just do view location like that. Same thing. View rotation like that. And then new field of view, we'll just change that to 60. So we'll get it working first of all with a hard cut, and then we'll go through lerping it. So if I now push play here and then right click, we get this movement. Okay. So that is a camera modifier and what they do. The thing we want to do though is make this a smooth transition over time. So the main thing is it's delta time coming out of here. Because if I were to print string this, saying hello, you'll see that this is going to be playing all the time. It's a tick event. So that delta tells us how much time has passed between each frame. So in what I want to do here in the variables is I want to have the target FOV, and that's going to be set as 60, for example. And then I want to do finterp2 and put the field of view here into current. Target I want to put into, well, I can just type it in I guess, but we'll put it in there. And then delta time, we're going to put in delta time there. And interp speed here, we're going to put in as as 3, for example. Now the problem with doing this, if you plug this in straight away, you'll notice a slight issue in that it doesn't go really far. Yeah. Now the reason why it's not going really far is that every time it comes through the modifier, this value is getting reset. So the current value is no longer true. Yeah, that current value doesn't ever change. It's not great. It's not what we want. So what we want to do here is take this return value here and promote it to a variable and call it current FOV. Plug that in. And then plug that into there. And the current FOV is going to go into current there. Okay. As for setting the FOV from the get-go, we can do two things. We can either hard code it in and set it in and say like it starts at 90. Okay. And if that's the case, it should work this time. Yep. We get a smoother transition in. Okay. If I want it to change the target FOV here, sorry, current FOV dynamically, what I can do is on the current FOV here is I can add that as a variable, as editable, and expose it on spawn. No, not cut. Yeah, current FOV. There we go. And we'll do target FOV as well, and we'll do exposed on spawn for that one. And then on the character I was doing it on, I don't think you can add that onto here. No, you can't. But from here, we should be able to, yeah, should be able to set the FOV, yeah, here, as such. So put in current FOV, oh, whatever it is from the camera. Get field of view. It goes in like that. And then we can set the target FOV from this one. Set target FOV to whatever we want it to actually be. In this case, we'll do 60. Okay. And therefore, we've got more accurately what we want to achieve. Okay. Now, with that knowledge in place, we can actually change it. So rather than removing it, snapping back, we want it to gradually pull back and pull back forwards. The difference being is that we don't want to keep adding it and removing it. We just want to modify it. Modify this. So if you know that these values are going to be hit, you can add them and set them here. And you know that this is happening on a tick event, basically. You can just modify it that when it happens. So on the add new camera modifier here, I'm going to disconnect that. Put this on begin play somewhere. Here. So it adds it right at the start. It won't do anything. In fact, what I'll do here is just set that to the current field of view. So right at the start, nothing. Oh, forgot to put it on. ADS. There you go. Nothing will happen, which shouldn't happen. Yeah, looks the same. But what I want to do now is modify the target FOV based upon what we're doing on the right mouse button. So on the right mouse button, when I press this, we're going to do set target FOV. And we'll change that to 60. And when I release it, we'll set it back to 90. So now we're not removing it, adding it and removing it each time. Now we are doing this smooth transition movement in and out. We're just modifying the camera live when I push the button. Okay. Is that helping Vinny with what you want to achieve? It will at least give you the idea of where to go next with that if you need to do more of it. Because obviously, we just done FOV. You can do it with location, rotation, and all that stuff too. But yeah, the main thing is that be aware that you can also change these values outside of the camera modifier inside your blueprints wherever you put them. Excellent, Vinny. Great to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, go ahead, Beanie Guy, with your question. James McElmore, did you hear of the indie bio who game Lego cancelled last week? I was just disappointed, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts on it. I mean, what do you expect? You're trying to make a game with an IP you don't own. It's gonna happen. Like doing those sort of like little games where this is the thing where I see people doing like, oh, we made Zelda in Unreal Engine 5, blah blah blah, or Pokemon, you know, whatever it may be, and like, okay, it's good for a learning thing, but you can never release it, because even if it is like tasteful and not anything like that, they still can't risk you releasing a title that, even if it's free, they can't risk releasing that because it might disparage the property or anything like that. So I get it, and I don't get why indie developers try to make games like that and try to release them when you don't own the rights to them. It's very easy to get into that big problem. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a shame, but not unexpected. Great, good to hear, distilled guava. I'd be curious to hear how you'd go about making a climbing system via blueprint. Obviously, we can't do that right now because it's quite a lot involved. And different climbing systems have different results and like how you want to achieve them. So by climbing, like you got simple climbing, like ladders and vines and things like that. That's pretty simple. Alternatively, if you've got like Assassin's Creed style, where it's more IK animation based stuff going on, very different. Yeah. It depends heavily on what you want to do. If you just want to climb like Breath in the Wild, oh yeah, I think I've done a video on that before, like or maybe it was a live stream. I can't remember now. But yeah, essentially it's not too hard. So let's go. I'm gonna make a button that just triggers the climb. Let's just do. Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a hit event, and if I'm in the air when I hit something, I'll just make it climb it. Okay, so is falling. Branch, and I'm going to go function start climb, and we'll call that on here start climb. Okay, and if I push the jump button, I want to stop climb. We'll make another one stop climb. So jump, stop climb, there. Okay. There's our triggers for it. So I'm starting to climb and stop climbing. And I've mentioned this before in other videos and streams, but the reason why you want to separate these into different functions rather than just tack it onto the end of your event nodes and things like that is now they're functions. I can call them in other ways too. So if something else is going to trigger me to start climbing, it could be like a level sequence, it could be a boss attack of some kind, I don't know, could be anything. I can now call that wherever I want manually without the player having to hit something. Same with stop climbing. Anywho, so go start climb. The main thing with start climbing and climbing animation, climbing movement, is essentially what you're doing is you're changing the character movement here to flying. So you change it to flying mode. And then to get rid of that floaty sort of movement, you need to change the character movement speed for flying. Is max fly speed, we'll bring that way down, we'll bring that down to 150. And then but braking deceleration flying, we'll whack that way up. And that stops you from having that glide that happens. So I'm going to put it up to 1,000. Okay. Compile that. Done. So I'm going to set the flying now. And on stop climbing, we're going to put it back to falling. Like that. Okay, now the movement side of things. So the movement side of things changes somewhat. So at the moment, our W and S is going to go forwards, right? So it's this bit over here, wild direction. However, when I'm climbing, I actually want that to go vertical. Yeah. So in wild direction here, what I'm going to do is do select vector. And we're going to put B into this one. I'm going to check to see if the character here is flying. It's flying. If it's not flying, it'll pick B, which is this one. If it is flying, it'll pick A, which in this case, it'll be in the Z. Just put in 1 there, that'll be fine. Okay. So, as a quick demonstration of this, if I jump and hit the wall, will it not let me? Oh, there you go. So now I can climb up and down the wall and move side to side. Obviously, we haven't got any animations, but that's that. Now, as for climbing around objects that aren't flat, whilst you are climbing, you need to do a line trace out to find out the vector that you want to climb out, and that's what changes this up here. So on I guess, I mean, we could just do this one, I guess. So I make a function on here is get climbing surface vector. Okay, and I want to do a line trace out by channel. Get player, get actor location. Endpoint would be their forward vector, so get actor forward vector. Multiply that by, I don't know, 100. Why not? Add that onto here. Just this. Guess it's this. In hindsight, I probably would want to do a sphere trace, probably, but no mind. Line trace is what we've got. So when we're doing a line trace, you're going to get the hit event, hit results coming out of here, and the thing we want is the normal, and that's going to be your surface normal. So I want to store that. So we're going to promote to variable and do climbing surface normal like this. And what I want to do is on here is I want to project a vector onto a plane, onto a plane. Yeah, onto a plane. So on the plane here, the plane normal is going to be our climbing surface. The vector normal is going to be 1. And then I put that up here. And that's going to be for going up and down. Same for left and right. I did exactly the same thing over there. So just do that. Getting messy now, but it's fine. We're in a rush because time is running out. Okay, and then let's test it out by putting in something round. I should make the stop climb not happen on the jump because it's messing everything up. Stop jumping. Yeah, we'll do it on completed for that. No, not completed. We'll only do it if we are flying already. There you go. Do that. If we're flying, stop climb. Okay, try this again. Okay. So now, oh, I forgot to change the value. Oops. On here. So no longer 1 in the Z. Now the vector is going to be my right vector. So it'd be this bit. Yeah. Oh, not perfect. Might have to do it a bit longer of a line trace, maybe. It's not too bad. Yeah. But we jump and drop. So for those who want to know how that works, is the project vector to plane. So basically it says if we take a direction, a normalized direction vector, yeah, and I were to put that on a plane that isn't the normal X, Y, Z axis, like a different plane, it will give me that vector in that plane. That makes any sense. So if I want to get the forward vector, like let's say we do it in the kart series as well with the missiles, getting the trace on the floor. We project down to find the normal of the floor, and we just say like go straight, even if the floor moves up a little bit, just angle it up a bit. It'll just follow what's straight in relative to the floor that you're on. And this is the same thing. It's just on a wall. But yeah, you just do that. You put in. You have to make your own animations, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. So it's pretty simple. Just a bit tidy up. I'll probably make this a bit wider. And I say I probably would do it as a sphere trace. Just so I've got that bit of extra depth to check. Yeah, I don't know why it's not doing. Oh, I know why. It's because we're using active forward vector here. But the forward vector. Let me put the debug on that because I think the forward vector is not correct because my character is moving differently. For 1 frame. And for start climb, I need to tell it to orient rotation. Not orient rotation. Set that orient rotation here to false. And is it already on? use control desired rotation. I'm going to turn it on here. It's okay to have both of these on because orient rotation here overrides the other one. So when you turn that one off, it'll then use the other one. So if I jump now on here, I should stay facing the wall. I don't know why I'm not turning it properly. Also, I don't know why the line trace isn't showing. Why is the line trace not showing? Did change it, didn't I? Get climbing surface. Get location. For one frame. Forward vector. Yeah, why is this not showing? I'll tell you what, I'll just put that in the tick event for now. Oh, it's because I wasn't actually calling it. That would help. Get climbing surface vector. That would help. Such an idiot. There we go. Line trace happening. You should see it rotate as the wall. Oh, wait, I have to tell it not to use the camera. I know it's going to follow the camera now. Yeah, okay. We need to tell it not to do that. But yeah, that would help. So that's basically when I'm over here looking. I don't want to do this. Actually, no, I don't want to do that at all. I don't want to do... I do want to do that because I want to move the camera. I just want to turn off then... I don't want to use control rotation, do I? Alright. So I can still move, but yeah, the line trace doesn't move. Yeah. I think the collision box is a bit weird for this because look, it's hitting right here. I think this is the collision box of the thing I've used. This little platform here obviously wasn't designed for this. But yeah, you get the gist of it. It's like that. Actually use something a better collision box. Yeah, so I need to also rotate the character to face the wall. That's what I'm missing. So, on that. Get climbing surface here. We want to set actor rotation. I want to take the climbing surface normal here. Plug this into here. Disconnect it. Split it. And put the yaw in, because I only care about the yaw. I guess actually you want to do it for, like, if you want to do, like, overhangs, I guess. You may want to do the pitch, I guess, as well. Oh, I've got the wrong... I need to multiply it by -1. Normal to poke out, I need to go in. So to float. -1. In there. Oh, I should also make it not do it when I'm not climbing. There we go. There we go. Now it's heading to face the wall correctly. Jump, drop down. Okay. Anywho. That's good to hear, Pete. Good to hear. You're welcome. You're welcome. Christopher, you're doing recording for VO for your game. Anything I should be aware of? I mean, if you've never done it before, there's the basics. Make sure you record silence before. So when they record, don't get them talking straight away. Make sure there's a bit of silence beforehand, because then you can noise remove it a lot easier. Make sure you are saving in WAV, because Unreal doesn't accept anything else. Make sure you keep all the raw files ready to go. Oh, and record in shorter. When you bring it into Unreal, obviously you need to bring it in smaller chunks, like smaller, like each line is its own thing, probably. So be aware of that. so you may want to make sure there's a gap between each one, or make it at least easier to... It depends on what you're scripting. I don't know what you're scripting. No, there's nothing really major as far as I'm aware. Just the basics. Do 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 do. Gabriel Moser, I made just map selector tool, but I can't get replicate for my clients. What do I have to do? The maps, which I mean, not the widgets. If you want them to travel with you, you have to use a server travel. So if you use the host needs to call execute console command and do server travel, and you put in the path name for the map you want to go to. You need server travel for that to work. That will then tell the whole server to travel with you to the new map. Okay. Do you use motion design tools? I haven't. It's on the things I need to pick up and have a look at. I haven't had a chance yet. I've been lately experimenting with what have I been experimenting with? Doing lots of stuff with state trees. Been experimenting with also terrain generation. Sort of like Minecrafty, but not blocky, like actual like hills and stuff. Yeah, working on things like that. In some aspect, we'll see if I can find if it works quite well or not. Yeah, that's about it really. What's the best way to code your sound so the sound direction is accurate so player 2 can hear correctly where player 1 shot from? Make sure you're spawning at location, not to UI, and it will be fine. So either play sound at location or spawn sound at location, either one. The other thing to be aware of when you're doing sounds is, if I go into start content, audio, let's go to this one. Be aware of where are we? Attenuation settings. Make sure you've got attenuation settings turned on to give that realistic feeling of things like being further away than they are close to you. And also you want suppose on here. Oh yeah, concurrency. Concurrency, you'll make sure you don't overhear too many things. Priority, that's also important too. And that's about it really. The rest kind of takes care of itself. There's occlusion as well. I don't know if occlusion is on here. It might be on natural. Hey, that should be on here. Occlusion. Don't know. We search for it. No. Oh no, it's on the attenuation setting. So yeah, if you make an attenuation setting, I'll go in here. Audio, attenuation setting. And then in here, spatialization is what you're referring to. As you see, it's already on by default, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But you may want to turn on the occlusion. So occlusion enables it so it like gets dampened by walls, so you can't hear things clearly through walls. It'll dampen it a little bit. You turn it on and change the setting because default is 1. You want to turn it down. But yeah, have a flick through these settings, play about them. Reverb as well, but useful. Yeah. Okay. Can you do a video series on PCG rooms or dungeons? I can look into it, yeah. But that will have to do for tonight. Unfortunately, everyone, as we are over time, out of time. I've got to jump into a session. But speaking of which, if you want a private training one-on-one session, or you want help setting up a studio, or want help with performance analysis of your game, like optimization, how to optimize it, and add things like UI controls, support, all that stuff. Do check out our website. We have a load of services available, and you can book a free 15-minute consult if you want to get an idea of what it is you need. Yeah, and if you want sessions, you can find all the information over there too. Yeah, so do go there, check it out if you want that private one-to-one sort of support and training. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to all our Patreon members for their continued support and patience while I'm getting this course done for them. Thank you so much for your continued support. And once again, thank you to all the YouTube members and subscribers who have subscribed to the channel. Thanks very much for everyone. Join us tomorrow as we are going to be live streaming the first proper playtest of Mimic. Hopefully a weekly thing we can do and get some good progress on getting that game done. So, thank you all everyone. Take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye everyone.